everyone, welcome. I'm Rhiannon. I'm with Simply Blessed with Rhi. I'm a Chalk Couture independent designer. If you see that red live button right there in the corner, that means I'm currently live. If you don't see that, then you're watching a replay. And if you could please comment #replay so I know that you are here. I'd love to say hello to you. My camera is like really far away, you guys. All right, so we are going to build a snowman tonight. When you come on, say hi, let me know how you're doing. Hit that heart button and sprinkle a little love for me. Hopefully this turns out the way that I want it to. We'll see. So y'all know I'm not good at painting. I painted it white first earlier so that you guys wouldn't have to watch me paint it. So hopefully that helps some. Let me get on the right page. Okay. Okay. Wanted to make sure I put it in the right spot. One more person. Give me a second. Why is it not showing me the person that I'm trying to find? Oh, because I typed in the wrong name. Hey, Terry. Hi, Lori. Thank you, Lori. Give me just a second. Amy, not Angie. There we go. All right. So I'm not going to have, hey, Sharon, I'm not going to have my other live tonight. So we've got plenty of time to do this tonight. So we will get this done tonight. There's Lori. I've got so much ribbon right here. I'm not sure which ones I'm going to use. And Tony. Hi, Julie. And Terry. Hey, Mom. All right, so I cut out the snowman, you guys. You can't see his eyes, but they're there. Okay, not a problem. So it's got a snowflake. It's got a couple of buttons and a nose. You guys can't see it, but he's got eyes. They're painted over. So we're gonna have to go over his eyes and we're gonna put the words, "You make me melt," on the bottom. Thank you, Julie. There you go. So I already painted this guy because he's big and I didn't want to take up the time to paint him. So I'm gonna put him right back here for now. We are going to paint the buttons and the snowflake and the, yes, I did. I cut out the nose, buttons, the snowflake, and the snowman. So what we're gonna do, we're actually gonna use makeup wedges, you guys, because I don't want my paint to get down in the lines. So like with this, I just used a paintbrush and paint, and you see those X's in the eyes? Paint got down in there, and we don't want to do that for these other things. I was fine with it on this, but I don't want to do that on the snowflake and the buttons and the nose. So what we're going to do, we're going to put some white paint in the tray, and we're just going to use the makeup wipe. So what we're going to do, or makeup sponge, I should say, we're going to tap off Sure thing. Do you have a snowman already? Because if you do, I just want to make sure the accessories are the right size. So I'm just patting. I take up some paint and then I kind of tap it off so it's not as thick. Because like I said, I want it to show those lines. So I don't want it to get down in the lines. And we might have to do a couple of layers to get it to where I want it to be. Ooh, that's a bunch. So you guys see the difference? Hey, Kevin, you can still see the lines. Hey, Shelly, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. So we'll probably have to do a second coat on this. Because what ends up happening is it's pretty light when you do this. But this also helps keep the white from getting on the edges. 24 inches. Okay. Hey, Kevin. 24 inches. I'll get that, I'll get it. Not a problem. Just message me, Lori, so that I remember what all you need. You guys, we were supposed to have storms tomorrow, and they have downgraded that to just thunderstorms. It was supposed to be snowstorms. They've downgraded it to thunderstorms tomorrow. And we were supposed to have like 3 to 5 inches of snow on Sunday, and they've downgraded that as well to 1 to 3 inches. But we will see, because it's supposed to be one heck of a storm that's coming through. The only thing I don't like about this method is it takes so stinking long, because you can't put much paint on your sponge. And it's just not wanting to go down in there. It's not wanting to cover very well. Now, I did get a little bit down in my crevices here. So what I'm gonna do, I have a straight pen, if I can grab it. I am just gonna go right along that line and get the paint out. There we go. Yeah, I'm not sure what they're planning, because like I said, at first, ooh, I got a lot of paint down in there that time. At first, you know, they said that it was going to be horrible, and now it's not so much. So we will see. All of a sudden, this really isn't wanting to cover, hardly at all. I think with his nose, I'm gonna use a brush, and I'm just going to take my needle and get the excess out. Because this takes too long. I don't like doing it this way. I've tried it before this way, and it's not my favorite method. Has anybody else used this method? It's not really covering that well. When it works right, it's great. All right, there we go. Just go down the lines and get the excess out. This doesn't actually have to be very, like, perfect. Hey, Kayla, because it's gonna be under some ribbon anyway. So the best makeup sponges that I've been told that work are the ones from Dollar General. But I couldn't find those, you guys. Our Dollar General apparently didn't have them. So that might also be my problem. It might just be the type of sponge that I have. All right, so there is our snowflake. I'm gonna put it back here to the side. Y'all, I don't like to waste. So I'm gonna put this paint, y'all, I'm gonna put the paint back. I used so much paint already today. Now, Lori, this particular snowman also has the words, "You make me melt." Not "You make me melt," but "Baby, it's cold outside." Do you want that portion as well? And I'll get it and I'll show you what it looks like. So this actual file had this with it. Do you want that as well? Or do you just want the snowflake, buttons, and nose? You got it. Shouldn't take very much of this. So I am just going to paint these. It doesn't really matter about seeing the lines on these because they're going to be black. How are you, Shelly? Hey, Shalina. Super easy. I might distress these a little bit, we'll see. Because I think that would be super pretty. So when you have smaller pieces like this, you can also use a piece of cardboard with tape on it. I'm doing good. And what you would do is just put your pieces on the tape and it holds it to the actual cardboard. I don't have any tape right here to put it down on. Nope, come out. Stop rolling. And the last color that we're gonna use is a burnt, actually I'm gonna need that black again in a minute. It's a burnt orange. So for the most part, I use Apple Barrel. I get it at Walmart. My black, I use a chalkboard paint. I get that at Dollar Tree. It's my favorite black. It's a nice matte. And this orange is actually a Deco Art. I'm sure I got it like at Hobby Lobby or something. It's a little bit darker than the orange that I had from my others. How's the weather there in Virginia, Shelley? I'm making a snowman. Hey, Nan. You guys, Hannah came down yesterday and she saw my "'Tis the Season to be Freezing" and she was like, oh my goodness, that's so cute. So the You Make Me Melt portion that I'm using tonight is part of that same transfer. "'Tis the season to be freezing." It's actually got the parts for a snowman, but we're not going to use that since this file that I got this off of already had the pieces that I needed. The buttons and the where did my safety pin go? Y'all, it disappeared. There it is. I want to get some of the paint out. It didn't do too bad. There was just a couple spots. Yeah, we'll see how the weather plays out. I always put out either too much or too little paint. When it's too little, I end up putting more out and it's way too much. All right, there we go. Do not go. My paintbrushes are being brats. I usually have a jar that I put them in, but I don't this time. All right, so I'm gonna sit this part back here now. Stay. And on to the actual snowman. So I have a marker from Michaels. It is a Tombow. So it's got a brush tip, but I'm not going to use the brush tip. It's also got a little fine tip. So I'm going to use the fine tip to very carefully draw my X's that I painted over. one didn't end up all that straight. And I'm gonna do the little eyebrows with this one. And then I have an artisan that I got off of Amazon. It's also got that brush tip, but it's got like a rounded. And I'm gonna do his eyes with this because I can kind of go a little bit closer around. I might end up using the other tip just to get the outside of it. Y'all, I'm partially blind, so seeing this little bitty lines is not my friend. I'm actually gonna try the other one. Yeah, that's a little bit better. There we go. I colored a little bit outside the lines, but that's okay. Any cute so far? So, I know a lot of people use distressing ink. I couldn't find my distressing ink. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use paint to distress this. All right, come on. There we go. Now I've got a little sponge that I'm gonna use to do it. This, I really wanna tap it in and then tap the excess off. And I'm just gonna go around the edges of him and kind of drag it. Like I said, you can do this with distressing ink or paint. I have no clue what I did with my distressing ink. I bought some and I have it somewhere. Don't ask me where. I don't even know where I got this little. I think probably Dollar Tree. So see, that gives just that nice little kind of distressed look along the edges. And you can go up as far as you want to make it look more distressed if you want. Or you can just be down at the bottom. But you really don't want much paint on the sponge. Michaels also has like distressing sponges back by their distressing inks. I wasn't as fond with those. I kind of like this one. Does anybody have any awesome plans for this weekend? last comment I see is Nan saying, hey, can somebody else comment so I can make sure that my comments are working? Because sometimes Facebook likes to be mean to me and get rid of comments and filter people. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Tony and Mom. And we're done with this. All right, so see, now he's got the little bit of distressed along the edges. All right, I'm gonna put the transfer, You Make Me Melt, and I'm actually going to use Duchess for it. I don't know where my buzzing cloth went. There it is, but I'm gonna make sure it's fuzzed really well. Hey, Jacqueline. And I'm just fuzzing because my fuzzing cloth is MIA right now. Fuzzing on my shirt and everything else. So we are gonna use Duchess because it's a really pretty blue. We need a little bit of color to it. How are you, Jacqueline? Look at him. Why'd you just get out of the hospital? What happened? That's no bueno. All right, so I'm gonna use some clear tacky glue to glue on my pieces. This stuff works so well, and it gives you like a little bit of leeway to position it. I'm only gonna do half of it because it's gonna sit kind of, I need to see which ones are not. It's only gonna sit like halfway on. Hey, Jenneth. I think I'm gonna take just a little bit of blue and kind of hit the edges of this. Just the edges. Just to give it some depth. This one I think is about 1.5 feet tall. I don't have my measuring tape over here, but I think it's about 1.5 feet, maybe a little bit taller. Okay, not a problem. Thank you, Lori. There we go. That looks a little bit better. Looks a little bit more wintry. All right. So now we've got the buttons and the nose. Give that a minute to dry. It dries pretty slow. We're not done with them yet. We are actually going to do a bow. So I am going to put this just around like this. I'm actually going to have it on the snowflake because it's going to be covered anyway. I should have put this down first before I put the snowflake on. Actually, yeah. It'd help if I took the cap off, right? I'm actually gonna put it just to those holes. go. And we are going to take, don't really want that one. We're going to take some black. Well, I want a thicker one though. I have like ribbon all over the place. Ooh, I see what one I want. This one's thinner. So I'm gonna make a bow with this. And then I'm gonna make another bow. Let's see. I didn't really think it through with this red. Just wanted some other color, you know? Let's dovetail this. Before we do this. I hear sirens. That's not good. All right, we're gonna put him back there for a few minutes, and that came off anyways. You know what? We're not gonna use the red. We're gonna use the black. I think the black will look better. I'm gonna turn on my glue gun because this glue is not working for the ribbon. Y'all, some of this stuff I've never done before, so just bear with me. Trying out new things. Actually, I think I want this a little bit shorter. There we go. And then I've got some twine. And somewhere I've got a bell. All right, get this where I want it. Where I want it. Put this bell on. Okay. So I'm just gonna pinch it in the middle and then put the bell on, and I'm gonna wrap it a couple of times just to make it easier to tie. Actually, I'm gonna wrap it a few times, I think. How cute is that? I'm gonna dovetail this just a little bit more. There we go. And then I have some greenery. Actually, we're gonna use this. If I can get it off, there we go. Oh, I'm not the bow queen. I'm nowhere near being the bow queen. We are going to put just a little bit of this black, I think. Because the bow is going to cover up a lot of it. That just sticks a lot better than that other glue. All right. And we are just going to put a healthy dose on the back of the bow so that it doesn't come off. And a little bit of greenery. And there we go, you guys. What do you think? You like it? I hope so. I don't get very like outside the box creative. And I think this one was like on the verge of that. So, all right, you guys, this is all I had planned for tonight. I will be live again on Sunday at 6:30 Central Standard Time. I hope to see you guys then. You know what? I'm actually going to do something. Let's see. I don't know. Let me see what this transfer has. Ooh, I know. I know what I want to do. Where are they? I have little snowflakes, you guys. They're somewhere right here. I know they are. Unless the girls stole them. I was going to put a couple of snowflakes on them. There they are. Hey, Linda. I think that will set it off. Ooh, that was a lot. A lot of glue. I needed something to use these snowflakes for. This is perfect. All right, there we go. Now he's done. All right, so that's all that I have for tonight. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I do have the Snowman available with Baby It's Cold Outside instead. Like I said, this is about 1.5 feet, 2 feet, so it's going to be $15 this size, but if you want it 12 inches, it'll be $12. So $15 this size, 12 inches for $12. So if you want one of these, just let me know, send me a message, and I will get that cut out for you. He's super adorable. All right, thanks for watching, you guys. Good night.